At the forefront of that effort is RSI's newest ship, the Polaris. Combining devastating firepower and searing speed, the Polaris-class corvette is effective against a wide variety of aggressors and scenarios.
Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen video, and it has been quite a while since I do this format, okay? Is the RSI Polaris worth shipping? Now, a big disclaimer is that the Polaris will go up in price after this Invictus launch week event, which means we are reaching to the last day for you to pick up some ships for Invictus launch week. And the Polaris will, the question is, how much would the Polaris go up in price? I don't know. Currently, the Polaris sits at $750, which is crazy, in my opinion. And that is a big PSA for you guys out there. This is not, all right, and I repeat, this is not a beginner video for you to pick any ships, okay? This is for people who are already familiar with the game, who wants to support CIG a little bit more. And basically the Polaris is a soaked up version of the Carrack minus a special scanning suite. Okay, the Carrack still wins in terms of exploration, but the Polaris can do everything better than the Carrack. And before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And let's dive into the RSI Polaris, right? And of course, there's lots and lots of Polaris videos out there, so I will not overlap too much information from those videos, but I'll just put it in just in case you need a reference point. So let's start off with the Polaris is a corvette class capital ship developed by RSI, and it is a naval patrol ship, and it is a flagship for civilian militia, right? That's the key word there. According to that thing, civilian militia, I like that already, right? Personally, I like that already. And of course, one of the biggest selling point for the Polaris, okay, versus all the other ships out there, it is the hangar, right? The second, that's why I said the second best is the Carrack, because the Carrack can carry a snub ship or a snub fighter, the small ships, right? Relatively small. But the Polaris can carry literally a small light, I won't say small, right? A light fighter. Now, with the new size upgrade that we have seen, which is crazy, right? So we're going to show you. This is the Perseus, the Polaris, the 890 Jump, and the Idris, all right? And if you look at the size, the Polaris is huge. And if you look at the hangar here, this guy is huge. And with that being said, if you've seen some of the videos lately, it can fit an RSI Scorpius. And that is a big, big deal, right? That changes a few things already, which means I can fit a Saber easily. The question is, can I fit a Terrapin? If I can squeeze in the Terrapin into the Polaris, I think it's a slam dunk for the best ship, right? It can do exploration and it can do everything else. One of the features that everything else that I care the most. All right, let's go up to the feature. I'm going to bring up the DPS calculator. Okay, and let's go through some of the stats first before I go through some of the modules. I don't think they list down the modules in here. Yeah, which is a little sad. Okay. So Polaris is a nimble corvette class capital ship, right? Okay. Now let's start off with the most basic. We have a size 4 remote turret, 1, 2 remote turrets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5-man turrets. Now, unfortunately, the turret is not as good as the hammerhead. All right, we only have ×2 hard point, whereas the hammerhead has more, unfortunately. So we can actually go and check. Right, I'm going to choose slot 2, and I'm going to go for the Aegis hammerhead, because one of the key thing is we want to also compare to the closest competitor. And if we look at hammerhead size 5, it has a 4 weapon hardpoint compared to the Polaris, which is sad. Now, this is the current stats for the Polaris, and it is subject to change. And if you have watched a video, they did hint that they want to beef up the Polaris turrets. That could be a big deal. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. I saw something. We have about the same. Wow, that was a mistake. And I'm not going to edit, right? I'm not going to edit out. Size 4. No, size 4. No. Times 4. 447 Rhinos. Okay, 447 Rhinos. This has more DPS. This one is 337 Panther. This is a size 3. This is a size 4. Okay, cool. Still there, but not good enough compared to the Hammerhead. The Hammerhead is still a dedicated weapons platform, whereas the Polaris has enough. That changes a few things, right? This remote turret changes a few things, in my opinion. Actually, no, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. So it kind of fulfills a role, like 50% of a Hammerhead role, 50% of a Karak, minus a dedicated exploration module, and everything. Yeah, no, it has everything else. It has everything else. Okay, so I'm going to name some of the modules out there. One of the feature is torpedo base, right? The only ship with a capital ship torpedo. It is supposed to be size 10, but currently in the stats, I think you only can see size 9. Let's check it. Size 3, size 3, size 3, size 9, all right? So we want to double check later for the stats, because right now, even at size 9, that's a huge amount of DPS, okay? Now, unfortunately, torpedoes and missiles are not really reliable in the game at the moment, so taper your expectation if you were to get a Polaris and fly. Let's say the Polaris is available today, okay? It's going to be tough. Next up, we have the medical bay. Medical bay is one of the most crucial thing for every ship that I choose that is bigger than the, what do you call this? How big? Than the Cutlass Black. Yeah, you know, any ship that's bigger than the Cutlass Black, it needs to have a medical bay, because the smallest ship right now that you can get with a medical bay, right? It's a Pisces rescue version, and that is fantastic. Yep. And those are the few modules that I care the most. Then, of course, they have a little bit of upgrade as well. Now, let's see about the cargo size. Cargo size, we have 432 SCU, which is nice, right? Not great, but nice. Crew size, okay, so the downside about the Polaris is the crew size, 6 to 12, right? 6 minimum. In my opinion, I think you can go lower than 6. All right, I'm going to put it as simple as it is. 1, obviously, pilot, right? Number 2, you want to have another pilot for your hangar, right? Whatever ship you want to squeeze inside there, so 2. And then you want to have 1 engineering, at least 1 engineering, right? To handle the ship utilities when the mini game for the utilities launch. I think we have it already, but not as... It is not, how to put it, it is functional, but it's not, what is that word? Oh my goodness, if I edit, I can't even find that word properly. Robust, okay, I think that's correct. The gameplay is not robust yet. So, but at the same time, you need an engineer. So that's 3, and then, oh wow, it's close to 6, and at least 1 gunner. So 4. Yeah, normally I would say put 2 gunners because the Polaris is huge. You want 1 per side, or 1 top, 1 bottom, and there you go. And I think with 2 gunners, 1 engineer, 1 what do you call this, hangar fighter, and 1 pilot, and then of course there is a torpedo mini game that we have seen in the video, right? The ISC video lately. We might need a torpedo loader, so that's 6. Okay, that's it, 6 crew. Oh my goodness, I thought we can go lower than that. I thought, but if you really want to squeeze it up, 3 pilot, co-pilot, which is the whatever ship you can cram into the hangar bay, and 1 utility guy, right? It can be a man turret, it can do engineering and whatnot. So there you go, 3. All right, now, is it soloable? A lot of people ask this question. Is it soloable? Unfortunately, any ship that is bigger than the Connie, than the Constellation, right? I'll put it this way: Constellation and the Corsair, it is not advisable. But right? There is a but, because the Polaris has a hangar. And I've tested out this with the Carrack, right? I can actually solo the Carrack. You stuffed in a, what did I stuffed into? I stuffed in a Fury, right? I stuffed in a Fury to the Carrack Bay, regardless you want to put a vehicle or not. I did stuff the Aurora MR, definitely the Merlin, no problem. The Pisces, no problem. Pisces is made for it anyway. So I can do simple PvE, pew pew, if I want to, right? Just jump into the Aurora MR, fly off, no problem. If I want to do a little bit of hauling, the Carrack can. If I want to do first-person shooter, no problem, because I have a medical bay. So it has everything. It has everything that I want at the moment. And because the Polaris can fit a better ship inside, that is a big, big deal, okay? Big, big deal. And at the same time, the ship is super, super sleek and sexy. Well, with that, yeah, so currently the hangar, it says here, this is the original brochure. Original brochure says it can fit up to one small fighter, but in the video you can see it definitely can add a RSI Scorpius without issue. So in my opinion, Polaris is the best ship, right? There's no other ship that come close to the Polaris at the moment. Yeah. The only small little stats that we need to take, that we need to know later on is how long can it stay in space without docking? Question mark, because if it's not flight ready, we cannot test. I cannot test. I cannot figure out how good it is. But I know the Carrack can stay up for quite a long time. And I expect the Polaris should able to do the same, if not better. Yup. And with that being said, that's it. That's it. The Polaris is definitely a easy pick for me because it has all the things that I want. $750, it is a tough price to pay. That's why you want to utilize your Warborn upgrades as best as you can. And in this case, for the Polaris, I would highly recommend you that if you are on the fence, like you know you're going to buy something expensive, but if you're on the fence, I highly recommend you that you pick up a upgrade version. Now, I think the Polaris is the biggest ship that a normal, I wouldn't say a normal person, a ship addict would go, unless you already picked up the Idris. If you picked up the Idris, then the Polaris is useless, in my opinion, right? If you picked up the Idris. So in this case, I would say pick up the Polaris, go to, then what you want to do is upgrade to the next best ship. Now, I would highly recommend use the Hammerhead, because the Hammerhead won't really go up in price anytime soon. If I'm not mistaken, hopefully not at all, but I think it will go up in price a little bit because Perseus is very close by. So in this case, $25 for a second chance for a cheaper Polaris if you want to. So that's what I will recommend, right? Pick up an upgrade and that's it. Easy as it is. Now, before we end, what else do we need to cover? I think that's about it. Yeah, the rest of it, I can easily tell you that the community has definitely covered already, right? Yeah, and plus this is a capital ship, so capital ship will definitely fly like a brick. Okay, if you have flew the Carrack, it's gonna be worse. I'm gonna admit, okay, it's gonna fly way worse than the Carrack. That's for sure. Yeah, but because it has everything that I need, it has everything I want, and it can act. Okay, so the last bit. Right now, I need it to be flight ready in order to really test it. Okay, the Carrack, in my opinion, is kind of a mobile base for me already. Especially with all the new updates, especially the new hangar updates, okay? And more updates to come. I can put all my toys inside there. I can carry an Ursa if I want to, and then we have an Ursa Medivac. Easy. The Carrack, the Pisces R, the rescue version, and the Medivac. Right, that is literally those are the things that I carry at all times. And for the Polaris, I can easily carry an Ursa, no issue. The only question is, can I fit in a Tong? If I can fit a Tong, that would be nice, right? The Nova tank, that would be awesome, right? If I can't fit the Nova tank, that's totally fine, right? That's totally fine because Ursa Medivac is still a very key ground vehicle. And of course, for the hangar bay, right? Hangar bay, I don't think I can fit in a Vanguard. If I can fit in a Vanguard, perfect. All right, it is the perfect ship if I can fit a Vanguard. Not so sure if I can fit. Okay, is the RSI, is the F8 Lightning bigger than the Scorpius? We'll do it. We'll do this. Okay, we will do this. So now what I'm gonna do is, this is a Starship 42. This is mainly a website that I use to compare lots and lots of ships, right? Especially big ships that I want. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in. Okay, so I need to bring in the Saber. Oh no, I don't need. Yeah, I need to bring in a Terrapin. I need to bring in, it's going to be heavy. Okay, so Terrapin is super small. Okay. Yeah, this website is heavy for me to use, so I cannot load a lot of ships, unfortunately. But I want to see. I really want to know and see as well. Okay, Caterpillar, Corsair, Cutlass Black. No, we don't care about Cutlass. What am I thinking? Terrapin, RSI. Okay, we have to go to RSI. RSI, where are you? Origins, no. Yeah, sadly, I can't really click it. Like there's no search button. I have to slowly click like this. Scorpius. And Aegis Vanguard. Okay. Oh, I might be able to fit in. I might be able to squeeze a Terrapin. I might be able to. Okay. Last one. All right, last one. Terrapin. No, don't care about F8 Lightning. Okay. No, we don't want to go for F8 Lightning. F8 Lightning. There we go. Click U. Small. F8 Lightning is a small. Oh no, F8 Lightning is huge. Okay, it's huge. I don't remember F8 Lightning is small. So if that's the case, the Warden is too big. Vanguard. Yeah, the Vanguard series. Come on. Warden. I like the Sentinel. Yeah, the Sentinel is too big. It's too big. The Vanguard series. Yeah, no. So yes, this is no go. The F8 Lightning is plausible. No, I don't think so. It might be a bit too wide. Ooh, exciting. I can't wait for this ship